there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
Tonight on the House of Tiny Tearaways.
Do you think maybe she's sad because her mummy's sad?
Yeah.
Stop it!
It will be
If
hard.
it's what we need to do to move him along, we've got to do it.
It's the beginning of the second day for this week's families at the House of Tiny Tearaways. After a long and tiring first day for our parents, it's clear that it's going to be a tough week for Tanya. 3 desperate families, each overwhelmed by parenting problems that have turned their toddlers into tearaways. They're going to be living here for just 6 days in the hope that they can turn their lives around. The person they're looking to for the answers is clinical psychologist Dr. Tanya Byron.
Working with 3 families in such an intense environment is unlike anything I've ever done professionally before, and it is a huge challenge. I'm working with the parents, I'm working with their children, and I'm building a community. It's a tough job to do in a very, very short space of time.
And for the families selected to be part of this programme, this is make or break. This is the House of Tiny Tearaways. It's early morning and Simon Woods is preparing breakfast for his son Ethan.
Are you going to surprise me and tell me what you want for breakfast? Yogurt. Shit.
And I want to do that. There is.
How many?
Go.
How many? 4.
What is this?
Simon and Sasha Woods' 4-year-old son Ethan has an eating problem. His diet consists mainly of yoghurts and sloppy foods.
No, I don't want to.
On their first night in the House of Tiny Tearaways, it became evident that sleep is also a major issue, with Ethan waking several times during the night and eventually spending the night sleeping with Dad Simon, forcing Mum Sasha to sleep alone in Ethan's room instead.
Maybe you can have chocolate.
Yesterday, to start tackling Ethan's fussy eating, Tanya told the Woods to use yoghurts as an incentive to get Ethan to try new foods, not as his sole mealtime option.
They're nice.
Yogurts. No effort, no pushing.
Just went boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll take it little bites.
What plans then do you have for the Woods today?
Well, I want them to have an outing and I'm going to send them out for lunch because for me, obviously, that cranks up the stakes significantly for anxious parents of a child with an eating problem. I'm not going to let them take yoghurt. They're going to go somewhere where there may be nothing on the menu that he eats. And I just want to see whether they can manage their anxiety enough just to set some very clear behaviour rules around Ethan, because Ethan is a child who is getting his own way an awful lot, and the problem is very much linked to that rather than linked to a significant physiological eating problem, which I think both the parents, particularly Simon, still think.
Will going out to lunch at this early stage freak them out?
It might do, but that's kind of the point, really. I have a very short space of time and I'm losing Simon for most of the week, and I now see that Simon is a significant part of the problem. If I can at least put him in a situation where he has an absolute raw face-on experience of what I'm talking about, then when he's out of the house and he's got time to reflect and he'll be calling in to see how things are going, hopefully that'll start the thinking and push him into a much more assertive decision about whether or not he wants his son's behaviour to change.
It mops his floor.
This morning, Tamara Oakford has repeatedly told her 7-year-old son Dylan not to go outside.
Any mop, you will go on ground.
Look at me. Do not. Right. Do you want to go to timeout right now?
Get off me.
Do you want to go to timeout right now? Do not go out that door.
Get off me.
Do not look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
What?
Right,
What?
time out.
No.
No.
No, Owen.
No, you was too aggressive.
Owen. So, Owen.
Owen, don't. You're going to time out, Dylan. You went to punch me.
I didn't mean
Yeah, well, you shouldn't even think about pretending. In. Time out.
So all I do is sit here, don't hit or doing anything.
No, he went to punch me and it's not allowed.
Single mum Tamara has an enormous struggle on her hands trying to control her incredibly headstrong sons, 7-year-old Dylan and 4.5-year-old Owen.
Now you're baby.
Stop! Stop!
From the moment they entered the house yesterday, both boys caused havoc, forcing Tanya to lay down some firm ground rules.
Sit on there, and you do not bounce on my sofas. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Do you understand me?
Yes.
Dylan has finished his time out, but 2.5-year-old Taylor Moritz seems to have decided his favourite toy now belongs to her.
Wait, he's mine. He's mine. Mine. He's mine. 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 I'm telling my mummy. Hey? Owen, come on, let's go and tell mummy that she's got Rosie. Come on. Come on, you freak. No. Owen. Don't shout.
Don't hit him.
Owen.
Don't hit him.
No,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Tell
Hey,
me, dude.
hang on, whoa.
It's Dylan's.
Yeah, all right. Just let her play with
Owen,
it.
tell mummy.
Owen, just let her play with it.
No.
She'll finish in a minute.
Oi.
Stop it, kids.
Owen, tell what mummy, no good.
Stop it. Don't do that. That's naughty. Whoa, 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 whoa. Owen, just let go. Owen.
I'm very strong.
I know you're very strong, Owen. Owen, let go. I'll show you something else. Owen, let go. Good boy. Owen.
I get my own jug.
Dylan and Owen Oakford came in and were beating each other up, the most physical violence that we've seen probably in the house.
I suppose the most worrying bit of the aggression is the strangulation, because they are actually really, particularly Dylan, really going for each other. I think what I want to do today, and I've never done this before, is I want the boys to see themselves behaving badly. I want to show them their behaviour. Now, for little 4-year-old Owen, might be a bit of entertainment for him, but I really want to focus on Dylan. Dylan is a very, 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 very bright child, and I think he is capable of looking at something and understanding what is going on and why it shouldn't.
There's a basket of chocolate in the house. Each child is only allowed one piece per day as a treat. Maisie and Taylor Moritz have had their chocolate quota already this morning.
Maisie, bring chocolate. No, away. Taylor, away from the chocolate. No.
Mommy, my
Maisie. No. Taylor, come away from that door, please.
No.
I'm fed up with the word no.
20-year-old Nina Moritz is at the end of her tether, struggling on her own to control her 2 little girls, 2.5-year-old Taylor and 1.5-year-old Maisie. Nina has recently separated from the children's father and admits since his departure, her relationship with Taylor has almost completely disintegrated.
She's horrible. It's that bad that you would consider putting her in care?
There's been days when I've got up and thought I've got to ring someone to take her away. Maisie! Maisie, I can hear the rappers. There's no point running away from me, Maisie, because I'll always catch up with you. A lot faster. I've been around for a lot longer than you have.
Mom,
Yeah, it's mine.
Mom.
me. Don't pull me. Oh. Get off of me, Taylor.
She banged her head on the edge of the chair.
Alright.
Nina Moritz desperately wants help with her 2 daughters, who she says are very badly behaved. What have you noticed with them, and are you looking forward to getting in and treating the problem?
What I've noticed is actually what I'm looking at now as we're talking is a very passive mother. And only communicating with her children if she wants to tell them off or tell them not to do something. The thing she needs to learn in this house is to show attention and affection in a positive way and reduce the amount of sort of military discipline. I have a tricky time ahead of me with Nina because she needs some very, very firm, clear advice and work, but I think she's very fragile. And I almost feel like what I have to be with Nina is a tough but loving mother, to almost role model to her how it is to make someone feel good about themselves and therefore want to do well.
You skank. Huh? You don't pick food up off the floor and put it in your mouth. You're not normal, Maisie.
While Ethan Woods plays with the Morit family, his dad Simon and mum Sasha have joined Tanya in the consultation room.
The reason I wanted to see you first is because I do think there are some really sort of key issues that we have to focus on today, but I'm really concerned that you're going to be leaving, and because I see you as quite a big part of the problem, I felt that if we could have a chat now, it would give you stuff to think about. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, okay, well, can I just ask you, what do you think the key problems are?
I think I've got a feeling you're going to say a lot of it's down to me, but to a certain extent I'm going to disagree.
Right.
Because I feel I'm not there a lot of the time. I'm maybe there 1 or 2 meals a week.
Sure. Is it just about feeding though? I suppose I want to ask you to broaden it out a bit, because I also watched last night.
Sleeping.
I saw the sleep, and I saw the sleep problem, and it is quite a big problem when what you end up with is one parent in one bed and one in another with the child. I mean, obviously that's got sort of really massively splits parents. And,
that's gone on for a year and a half.
Let's have a look. Here we go. You cuddle him until he's asleep.
I did that.
Yeah.
I laid on the bed and cuddled him.
Yeah, and is that something that you would do every night?
To be honest, that's the first time we've done that. Usually, because I'm watching the telly, it's just been lazy.
Yeah.
He falls asleep on the settee and then we carry him to bed.
But the thing that is the same is that when he's falling asleep, he's next to you. Physically, he's next to you, whether it's on the sofa in front of the telly or it's in his bed. Okay,
Yes.
so he's not used to lying in his bed and falling asleep on his own.
No.
Right, okay.
Which is probably the reason why when he wakes, he wants somebody else with him.
Absolutely spot on. From his point of view in terms of independence and from your point of view in terms of your relationship, do you feel you want this to continue or do you want to change it?
I'd like to change it.
Okay, so are we saying that our aim by Friday is to have him settling himself off to sleep on his own and then a nice big block of green?
Yes.
Brilliant. Oh, that'd be good.
I think the reason he's got a sleep problem is very similar in my head to the reason he's got a feeding problem. So before we really crunch down on that, I want to show you some of the stuff around feeding. Oh, you look like a child who's about to get told off. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm not going to tell you off, I'm just going to show you what I think. Okay.
If you bite down on that crisp, I'll give you the spoon. There's a spoon ready for the mousse.
Just bite on the crisp once.
No, I've opened it.
No.
Bite down on that once.
This is your little treat now. You won't get this again. Not if Tanya gets along with it.
No, he won't, will he? He will make the most of it.
Okay. To say I was shocked and flabbergasted would have been an understatement. I sat in my room and it took all my strength not to run out and
Take them off.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that.
Not at all. But I couldn't understand why 4 yoghurts. I could understand 1 yoghurt. Well done, you've eaten some of your supper, here's your yogurt. But why 4?
Do you know what? You got them. I didn't say anything.
Why didn't you say anything?
Because...
I just thought he'd done so well eating what he'd eaten that he...
It's just... Yeah, but he should have just had 1, shouldn't he? It's a habit. It was a habit that we carried on from home that we brought in with us yesterday.
But why 4? Why 4 yoghurts?
Because that's what he does.
So I put 6 in front of him. He'd eaten 6 of them.
Well, he did, because he went on and he had a custard after that, didn't he?
And what you said on the...
He did.
Not seen that.
She did.
I did see it. I did see it. And then
Yes.
what you said there was, Ethan, it's probably the last time you're going to get these as a treat if Tanya has her way. And tell me about breakfast this morning.
I never
He
saw
had what he
breakfast.
always has for breakfast, which was yoghurt.
But don't you want to change the problem? Why are
Yes.
you here? So why do you keep
Yeah.
doing that? I do you know, I have to say, I have been tearing my hair out.
Yeah. The ways have to change from today.
Yeah,
they
but
have to change.
but I have
But
to.
if you'd have got up for breakfast, you'd have done exactly the same as I
Yeah,
had done.
I'm not going to blame you. We should have given him 1.
You should have given him none, unless he'd eaten something for breakfast. What I'm seeing is a child with a behaviour problem. I think he just gets his own way all the time. I very rarely hear you say no to him. And it's, will you try this? Do you want this? Do you want that? What about this? Which do you want? If I do this, will you do that? Soft voices, soft faces, love, 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 care, care, care. He gets his own way. I feel this is going to be really hard for you because I'm quite concerned by his diet. I'm quite concerned by his sleep because I actually think developmentally you've not done him any favours at all. At all. His digestive system is going to be not in the best place because of the fact that you've always given in.
Mm-hmm.
You're the easiest parents to work with because you're both bright, you get it. It's just, I say it's, I mean, but you're the most difficult parents to work with because emotionally you're so caught up with your child. The guilt.
I think there is a lot of guilt there because it was a complete shock that you were pregnant, and it wasn't a good time for us when we found out. So there's a little bit of guilt there.
What, on your
Yeah.
On
About
your
whether
part.
you'd stay.
Well, if we were going to have him or not.
Oh, whether to terminate.
Yeah.
Well, I knew I was going to. That was never an option.
Right.
It was never.
But what was
In my
going on
book.
for you, Simon?
I just didn't feel I was right and ready at the time.
To be a dad?
Yeah. We'd only been together, what, 3-4 months? 4 months?
6 months, yeah, something like that.
I didn't feel I was ready or capable of being a parent. And maybe this is where it all stems from.
Because you're not capable of being a parent or because of the guilt you feel?
Probably.
Do you, now that you have him and you love him more than anything
I
else
wouldn't
in the
change it
world,
for the world.
so the thought that you could have contemplated getting rid of him actually is a bit of a knife in the heart? Oh. Very upsetting for you.
But there shouldn't be any guilt because
He's
you were
so
there.
upset. He's so upset.
You were there.
But
You were there from day one.
But can you help him with his sadness? Can you not help him? You're very practical. You're very straight back there. Yeah, but we did this.
We were there. We were there.
It was a hard couple of months, the first few months, I feel. As far as Sash was concerned, it wasn't open for discussion. She was having that baby. It might be the only chance she'd ever have to have a child with the IVF or whatever. And it didn't matter if I wasn't going to be involved or not. She'd just go ahead and do it.
Because you'd been struggling with the fact that you'd been told it would be very difficult for you to have children.
I was told at 23 I'd never have children.
God, that must have been
And at 30 I fell pregnant naturally. So
Right.
in my position, from going through IVF, it's a very hard thing to go through. I knew that, well, you know, I'd have him. And if
No
I'd have to
matter
be
what I thought or what I
I'd have to
said.
be a single parent, then I would have had to have been a single parent.
Now, I'm glad she stuck by what she did.
But you are still angry with Simon about that?
I used to be, yeah, because at the beginning you want, you know, when you're pregnant, you just want both parties to be happy, me to be happy, him to be happy.
I suppose I'm seeing three things. I'm seeing your emotional content in the problem, everything we've said. I'm seeing yours in the problem, as we've just said. But I'm also seeing something quite interesting with the two of you, in that he splits you really well. And for me, I think it's because from the minute he was conceived, you were split. I think the story about Ethan's conception is a big story that you've never resolved between the two of you. I think so. I was struck there, Sasha. Simon was getting very, very, very upset and you seemed emotionally really cut off to it. Like, you didn't want to hear it, you wanted to stop him talking, you didn't want to put your arm around him.
No.
I saw that. I'm telling you what I saw. I feel you love him so much. that I think you're almost kind of strangling him with the love to the point that he can't eat properly, he hasn't got a good diet and he's not sleeping well. The behaviour we can change tomorrow, but for me, the problem is that, oh, we'll have your yoghurts then, which for me comes into the emotional stuff of Daddy feeling, oh, I can't say no because I never spend enough time with you, I love you so much, I hate seeing you distressed and I almost wanted to get rid of you. And Mummy, you sitting there thinking, I never thought I could have you, you're the most precious being on this planet for me. Health professionals let you down then, they told you all the IVF, all the stuff you had to go through, and hello, you got pregnant. So you've been let down, you're angry, there's this unresolved issue about his conception. That's why he doesn't eat, and that's why he doesn't sleep, and that's why you can't say no. And I feel like I've just hit you both in the face with a sledgehammer. I mean, I feel quite...
It'll be hard, and it will be emotional.
It will be hard.
I'm sure there'll be tears along the way, but
it will be
if it's what we need to do to move him along, we've got to do it.
Dylan is eager to return to the sandcastle that he's been building throughout the morning.
No, Ethan! Oh. Ah.
Come here, all right, come here. Come here, what is it? Shh, shh, shh. What is it? What is it? Come on.
Alright.
No, you don't. You don't say things like that.
My spoiled my castle.
All right, come on. Calm down.
I want to kill him.
No, you don't. No, calm down.
Get off
Calm
me.
down.
Get off me, Dan.
Calm down. Give me a hug. You're not going to hurt him, are you?
No, but
Promise.
you can keep him in here.
Do your coat up. Do your coat up, please, Dylan. Mine. Mine.
Excuse me.
Dylan.
No! You will not spoil it again! No, you will not. Okay? Don't even think about it. Bye. He spoiled my one. I know. He spoiled mine. Look, he's gone. Now it's going to have to be even bigger thanks to Ethan. Yeah. He spoiled too much things. If he spoils one more thing of mine, you will find out. As soon as he does one more thing wrong. And then when Ethan gets really close, we go and kill him.
On this line, we've got to be.
Tanya is concerned about the tension brewing between 4-year-old Ethan Woods and 7-year-old Dylan Oakford, and wants both parties to learn that disputes should be resolved amicably.
Ethan went out and destroyed Dylan's sandcastle. And what is kind of happening now is that Dylan is saying he's going to do him. So we've got a little bit of a something brewing between the boys. What I'd like to ask you to do, I suppose it's the first step on this journey that we're on, is for the three of you to go outside with Dylan and Ethan, and for Ethan to be told very clearly what he's done and that he mustn't do it, and to make him apologise to Dylan, and for Dylan to know that it's now over and there is to be nothing else, because also Owen is now going up to Ethan saying, my brother's going to kill you.
As Dylan rebuilds his sandcastle, Sasha Woods gathers everybody so that Ethan can apologise.
Ethan, it wasn't very nice, was it? Now I'd like you to say sorry to Dylan, please. Can you say it, please?
So I'm sorry for breaking your sandcastle.
No.
We're not going anywhere until you say it. If we stay here all day, we stay here all day. Now come on. I'm sorry for breaking your sandcastle. No. Dylan, say sorry.
Sorry.
For breaking your sandcastle. Shake his hand and say you're sorry.
Sorry.
Good boy.
You understand? You said sorry.
It's okay.
So that's it now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to be friends now. You mustn't fight or gang up on Ethan or anything.
I know another thing.
And you mustn't say you're going to kill him.
And boys, can you both look at me? We do not threaten to hurt somebody, and we will not. Are you listening?
Okay.
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
We do not hurt Ethan. Ethan has said sorry, it's over, okay? Could you all go and please have a cuddle together or shake hands or something to show that we're friends, please?
Okay.
Thank you, Owen. Good boy. Very good. And Dylan, one more shake hands, please, darling.
Okay.
And the situation is now over. Understood? What is it? It is
Over.
It is
Over.
Have a nice lunch. Well done. Well done.
I mean,
all right then.
come on.
See you later.
Thank you.
All right then.
If you're going to come back.
Why is Ethan crying? Oh, and he's been evicted.
Was it quite important for Dylan to be apologised to? Because I bet you he probably isn't in life.
Definitely. I think Dylan is the one that is always the problem, whereas actually he isn't always the problem. Fights and arguments are never resolved in the Oakford family because they always end up in violence, in crying, in tantrums and strangling and all the things we've seen. So for him, I think there was quite a good and important lesson in terms of, you know, rage and anger and how to manage that, and also a very important social skill. And at the age of 4 and 7, these two boys should know to accept responsibility for their behaviour, apologise and move on.
Who else should we draw, Mummy?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
While Nina Morritt looks after Dylan and Owen, Mum Tamara joins Tanya in the consultation room.
Because you were quite upset yesterday, weren't you? And you were sort of worried I was going to ask you to leave the house. And
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, I'm just concerned for the other children's safety. I can't predict what those two do. I really can't, and that's quite frightening.
Do you think their behaviour has got worse since they've been in the house or better?
Better, if anything.
Right, and what do you think that's about?
I think I am actually standing up to them a bit more.
Okay, and when they're at home and they're playing nicely, what do you tend to do?
They don't really play nicely at home. It's all aggressive. It's all either fighting or just being really aggressive with their toys.
Generally, as a rule, do you think your boys get more attention when they're being good or when they're being...
Bad.
So if they get more attention from you when they're being bad, what does that set up?
That to get attention, they're going to be bad.
Yeah. And they have got big behaviour problems, haven't they?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Is it hard for you to hear me say that?
Yeah, because a lot of people don't think they have. A lot of people just say, oh, they're boisterous boys, you know, they're just very lively, very... But to me, there's a limit, and I think they've gone past that limit now of just being normal boisterous boys.
I agree. But they don't know where the limit is because you've never set that limit.
Yeah.
I want to show you the minute that you came into the house and we were talking and the boys started to really beat each other up, and I had a word with them.
Yeah.
And you found that quite shocking. And I just want you to see exactly what happened, and then we can talk about it.
Yep.
What you think and whether that's something that you feel you need to be able to do and all those sorts of things. So let's just have a look at the first one.
Trying to control them a bit. Get off, Dylan. Get off, Dylan. Don't. No. No, please. No, let go.
Let me tell you something. Come here, turn around and get off my table now, please. Sit on there and look at me. And let me tell you something. You don't go on my table again. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Tell me what you're not going to do.
Don't go on your table again.
Right. And if you punch your brother again, I will tell Mummy what to do, and it won't be nice. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Good boy. Watching that back, tell me what you were saying there, what you're thinking.
It was embarrassing the way they were fighting. But then I was really impressed with how he actually did listen to you and look at you and sort of, he took in what you said. Whereas whenever I say anything to him, it's sort of over the top of his head.
Is there a difference in the way you would say something to him and I said something to him? What's the difference?
As a rule, I don't get down on their level. I don't get him to face me. I'm just sort of, Dylan, blah, 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 and I'm off doing something else.
Because you're sort of always got a bit of a smile on your face and you're always trying to kind of, you know, keep it together, but I suspect you're actually feeling pretty bad about all of this and pretty sad.
Yeah, more than likely, I like to put on a brave front of things and just sort of front it out in a way. I try and hide my emotions quite a lot.
And you'll get tearful and then you'll swallow it away.
Yep.
What's the worst thing that could happen if you started crying?
Nothing really.
Are you frightened you wouldn't stop?
Oh no, I know I'd stop. But there's nothing wrong, but I'd try. I suppose you try and hold it together.
Do you think they're happy?
No, I don't think they are.
Who do you think is the most unhappy?
Dylan.
I agree, yeah.
Definitely.
I think he's very sad. I think he's quite an unhappy little boy. And I tell you, I think his unhappiness and your unhappiness are exactly the same. But he's a boy, so he's going to kick and punch and scream and shout and say, I don't like this. Oh, sweet.
No, I know he's not happy. It's like Owen will come up for a cuddle. I mean, you've mostly seen it. Owen comes and seeks cuddles. Dylan doesn't.
Why do you think that is?
I haven't got the relationship I've got with Owen as what I've got with Dylan.
You're very similar. I think you're two peas from the same pod. You're both really wanting somebody, like I think you're asking me, to sort of just sit down and say, right, this is what has to happen and this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I think you're asking me to do that with you, so you can do that with your boys.
Yeah.
Cool. We can do that. We can do that, not a problem.
It's the second day of a new week in the House of Tiny Tearaways, and with it, 3 new sets of parenting problems for Dr. Tanya Byron to tackle. 20-year-old sole parent Nina Morritt is struggling to bond with her daughter Taylor. Although only 2.5 years old, her violent behaviour means she rules the roost at home. With 1.5-year-old Maisie adding to the problem by rapidly following in her older sister's footsteps, Nina is at her wit's end. 4-year-old Ethan Woods has a severe eating problem.
With your teeth, that's it. That's all right.
He refuses any food he might have to chew, and parents Simon and Sasha are desperate to improve his incredibly limited diet. Single parent Tamara Oakford is struggling to instil any discipline in her unruly boys. 7-year-old Dylan and 4.5-year-old Owen. They fight constantly with each other and regularly turn their aggression on their mum. Still to come.
So she kind of bears the brunt of it. And it's not her fault.
No, it's not. But I do seem to sort of like blame it on her.
Tanya has invited Dylan and Owen Oakford to her consultation room to talk to them about their aggressive behaviour, while Mum Tamara watches the conversation on a monitor in the lounge.
Right. Hello, boys. How are you?
Fine.
Tell me something. Why did you come into the house with Mummy? What was it about?
That we can't be good.
You can't be good. So what do you do too much of?
Fighting and watching telly.
Too much fighting and watching telly. So do you know what I'm going to do now?
What?
On the telly, I'm going to show how you fight sometimes, because I want you to see what happens and I want you to tell me what you think. Would you do that? Because me and Mummy are trying to work out how we can help you stop fighting, and maybe you two can help us work it out as well.
Okay.
Yeah? All right? Let's go. Here's the first one then.
I mean, Dylan, don't. Vanessa, stop. Let me... No, you won't. You shouldn't. You should not be fighting. Don't.
I didn't. Owen was.
Go to your room. I don't want to see you.
It's gone. It's
No, I don't care now.
fine.
You were laughing a lot, Owen, but you weren't laughing that much, were you? Okay, why weren't you laughing?
I don't want to strangle him anymore.
You don't want to. When you see yourself strangling him, what does it make you feel inside?
It makes me feel bad.
It makes you feel bad. Are you feeling bad now, darling?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like seeing yourself do that?
No.
Do you think Mummy likes it? What did Mummy's face look like when you were watching that?
Skinny.
And what else? What do you think she's feeling inside when she sees the two of you fighting like that?
Sad.
Cross and sad. So what can we do you think? What does Mummy need to do for you two to stop strangling each other and hitting each other?
take us to her room more often.
Would you like her to do that?
Yeah. No.
Why would you like her to take you to your room more often, Dylan?
Because usually sometimes she just goes, Owen, don't do it. And then just walk away. Yeah, she doesn't even bother about smacking us sometimes.
Should she smack you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think she should smack you. Because if she doesn't want you to hit each other, she shouldn't really hit you, should she? Dylan, are you saying then that you think Mummy needs to be more strict with you to help you stop?
Yeah.
Why are you asking her to do that?
So we might be able to be good.
So you're asking her to help you be good?
Yeah.
Do you know, you are the most grown-up and clever little boy I've ever had in this house. Look at me. I think you're brilliant. Do you know that? Here's the last one I want to show you for 2 reasons, and it's important you watch this carefully, and it's not very nice, so I want you to see what happened, and I want you to tell me how you feel in your tummies when you see what happened, okay?
No.
Oi.
She's doing it for me, not to you, pee-pee head. No, you're pee-pee.
Stop! Right, we're not doing this now. Give.
No. No.
You shouldn't.
No.
Don't. No, you shouldn't have it. Owen, carefully.
What did you think about that? Did it make you feel sad? Why do you feel sad, darling?
Because I felt so like I might kill her.
You felt you might kill her. And how does it make Mummy feel?
Sad and cross.
What could you boys both do now to help her feel better? What do you think, Dylan?
Be good.
When you see her and you walk up to her, what could you do to help her feel better and to help you feel better?
Hug her.
Medicine. What, darling?
Hug her and kiss her.
Would you like to hug and kiss Mummy now? Because what do you want to say to her about what happened yesterday?
Sorry.
What words could you say to her that are really happy words that will make her feel good?
Love you.
Would you like to tell her that? And go and give her a hug and a kiss? Should we do that?
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Oh,
come here.
I got a favourite one.
All right.
Tanya has sent the Woods family out for lunch to see how Simon and Sasha can manage their anxiety over 3-year-old Ethan's eating problem without the help of his favourite food, yoghurt.
Hopefully today we're going to get him to eat something a little bit different, try and be a little bit stronger with him, and try and take a little bit of the control away from Ethan and give a little bit of it back to us. Come on. Wowee.
With the Woods barely settled in the restaurant, Ethan's limited diet is already beginning to cause problems.
Children's beef burger.
No, I don't want beef burger.
We'll try something different.
No, I don't like different.
What do you mean you don't like different?
No.
Yoghurts were different at one stage, weren't they? Look at that.
What's here?
It's a beef burger.
Beef burger.
They're lovely. 1. Count them.
2. 3.
And Daddy's going to mash it up.
With a little help from Mum and Dad.
Right, just leave them to it, yeah?
Dad, if I do this one.
Ethan, to his parents' surprise, actually starts to tuck in.
One whole chip. Something that's the biggest piece of food he's ever eaten. I'm so pleased. I really am.
In my teeth. Bite it.
Well done.
Good boy.
Elated by the success with the chips, the Woods want to see if they can push Ethan just a little bit further.
Can you try that, please? It's chicken.
I don't like chicken.
Yes, you do.
No.
eat that piece of chicken and I'll give you some tomato sauce.
Sit up properly.
Otherwise,
Come on, that's
nothing.
There's no more food after this.
Oh, no.
Have you had enough?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well done.
Well, I actually thought it went quite well. It was quite exciting, really. Ethan actually ate chips. He's never had chips before. We have moved a step forward. Maybe only a little step, but it is a step.
Nina Morit has joined Tanya for a consultation.
So, having spent some time in the house, what do you think some of the issues are that we need to work on?
From watching Taylor last night, she doesn't seem to be as bad as what I think she is.
Right.
It's more sort of, see Maisie.
Right.
She's just like always wanting to get the chocolates and I sort of tend to not blame her and just sort of like take it out on Taylor. Whereas yesterday I started to notice that it was Maisie, so I was like, Maisie, don't do that, Maisie, don't do this. And Taylor's just really isolated, sort of on her own all the time.
And how do you feel about that you've kind of cast one of your children as a devil, one as an angel, but actually you're seeing that it's
bad,
pretty...
it's horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just sort of like blames Taylor for everything, when it's not her all the time. But then Taylor's been an angel in here.
And why do you think she's behaving better here?
Because she's around other kids.
Right. And what's she getting here, being around other kids that she's not getting at home?
She's playing.
So she's getting stimulation and interaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm taking a bit more notice of her than what I would do at home. Usually I just sort of ignore her.
Right. Do you want to see a bit of what the girls see?
Oh, go on then.
Let's just have a look at this from yesterday. This is the first one, all right?
Yes.
No.
No, in here. In here.
No.
Shut that door.
Bye. No.
Stop saying no.
Listen, Mum.
Yeah, you'll shoot. Maisie.
No.
No. Right, ready? Maisie, come here, babe.
Yeah.
There. Hey, chunks. Right, come on then, ready? Pop. Maisie, do you want to pop it? And then you do this one.
I pushed Taylor out, didn't I? Quite a lot there. God.
And what about the way you interact with her, verbally?
I don't think I really talk to her. I just order her.
And argue. Yes, no. Yes, no.
I've noticed today the amount I say no, yet I moan at them for saying no.
What was your face like?
Just horrible. I didn't even look happy. I was just sort of like, no.
Miserable?
Yeah.
What was the tone of voice?
Miserable.
Yeah.
Well, can't be bothered.
Yeah. Quite hostile.
I can't believe how much I push her out. Just like with the arms, when I'm asking for Maisie and Taylor's there and I'm just sort of like... I didn't realise I was that bad.
Is that hard
Bless
to see?
her. Yeah. My poor girl.
You have done some playing today.
Yeah.
I've been watching you.
Yeah.
You've read stories and things.
Yeah, reading stories and singing was fine. But like I took them out to play on the slides and that, and it was nice to do it, but I felt stupid. And sometimes I feel like she laughs in like a sarcastic way.
How old is she?
2.5. Yeah, I know.
You think a 2.5-year-old is looking at you sarcastically?
No, but like when I play with her,
they don't do sarcasm. 2.5-year-olds.
But see, I think Taylor is sarcastic.
They do happy or sad.
Right. Taylor's not happy at all.
Not a happy child.
I don't think she is.
Right.
She doesn't, looking into her eyes, she doesn't look happy.
Right. You think she's an unhappy child? And do you think that's got anything to do with you? What is it?
Because I'm always with Maisie.
Oh, darling.
But Taylor's not happy at all.
Do you think maybe she's sad because her mummy's sad?
Yeah.
And you're saying, my Taylor's eyes used to glow, she used to laugh. I wonder whether in her little world
Yeah.
suddenly mummy's eyes have stopped glowing and mummy stopped laughing. Why do you want to get away from your little girls?
When I'm at home, all Taylor says is daddy this, daddy that. I don't want to hear that all day. I know it's not her fault. It sounds really selfish, but I don't want to be reminded that she's missing him so much, because then I think, well, if you're missing that much, go and live with him.
And so then, because you can't be cross with him, you're cross with her. But she's a little tiny girl. She's 2.5 and she's lost her daddy. She is going to be completely and utterly confused. and miss him terribly. And what seems to be happening is that her behaviour, her normal, confused, sweet little behaviour, is now pushing her into a situation where she's losing her mummy as well. Because mummy's feeling so sad and cross about daddy leaving, but can't do anything about it, so she kind of bears the brunt of it. And it's not her fault that he went.
No, it's not. But I do seem to sort of like blame it on her.
You do, yeah.
But because she was such a daddy's girl, it does all come out onto Taylor.
Yeah.
As a teenager, Nina was put into care whilst her sister stayed
And
at
he
home.
abandoned you and his girls.
Tanya is keen to find
And
out
you're
more
furious.
about this period,
And you
as she
feel
believes that Nina's
yet again
relationship
in your
with her
life that
mother in the
someone's just
past may be
put you out with the
affecting
rubbish
her
and dumped
relationship
you and
now
left
with
you
her
to one
daughters.
side. You don't remember much of the time when your mum put you into care, do you?
No.
Can you remember any of that time at all?
She used to pick me up. I think it was every fortnight or every week on a Sunday, and take me out for an hour, and then take me back again. And that was about it, really.
And what did that feel like?
Like she used to come back, then drop me off again, leave me again, and go back home with my sister. But I don't know. I've sort of like not forgotten about it, but blocked it away. I don't know. I try and I don't know.
And you're the youngest of the two
Yeah.
sisters.
Yeah.
And out of your two daughters, which one are you the most angry with?
Taylor. But then I wouldn't say I was angry, but I don't know.
Well, who do you blame the most for things?
Taylor.
And she's the eldest?
Yeah.
Just like your sister was?
Yeah. I don't say that. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, yeah.
Why don't you want me to say that?
I don't know. It's like my mum all over again. And I don't want to turn into my mum at all. Not at all. I'm not ever going to let that happen. I'm sorry. Well, I suppose I already am, though.
In what way?
Because Taylor just sort of gets blamed for everything.
And can drive you to the point where you think, right, that's it, I'm putting her into care.
Yeah.
What about how you're feeling?
Well, I don't even know how I feel. I just feel confused.
I think you feel really sad. History repeats itself, but the second time round, it's much, much harsher.
You had fun.
The Woods family are back from their lunch, and Tanya joins them to find out how it went.
What happened? What happened?
He started asking me before we even left. I said we're going to a restaurant for something to eat. He started asking me about yoghurts.
Right.
We said no. Just blanked it and ordered it, and he was fine. Went into the restaurant. We ordered him a beef burger and a roll and some chips.
Right. And anything he's ever eaten before?
No.
Right.
Yeah, he's never had chips.
Okay.
Never. He
My heart is
came.
racing. Okay. Go on.
He suggested that we get a little side plate, which he
Because it
said to
came
do.
through as a massive,
It was big,
full.
too big.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he done that.
Well done.
And what Simon did was he mashed a couple of chips up, and then we chopped a few, and then we left some whole.
Right.
Yeah. He surprised us because he ate them, all of them,
Mashed, cut,
and bit
whole.
them. Bit them. I heard him crunching. But we're so pleased because he bit. He bit a chip.
A new
and
one.
he ate
A
it.
new
And he
food.
ate a chip that long and put it straight in his mouth and chewed it.
How happy are you?
Oh, chuffed as anything.
Yeah, well done.
Absolutely
Didn't want to eat
chuffed.
too much for first, but
Yeah.
afterwards I took him to the toilet and I said to him, Ethan, I'm so proud of you,
Brilliant.
what you've done, you know.
Brilliant.
And he seemed pleased with himself. He seems happy, happy that he did it.
Real
Wow.
progress. Real progress.
Yeah.
I'm really, really pleased.
I'm proud of him.
No fuss.
Yeah.
Because you were clear, he knew what was
Yeah.
expected. Because you, very, very appropriately, really good thinking, put less, it wasn't so overwhelming for him. Because you
Yeah.
didn't stare at him anxiously, he was relaxed to try. Because you didn't nag him, he made his own decision.
Yeah.
Well done, Ethan.
He did do really well.
Well done, Ethan. Really proud. How hard
Yeah.
do you want to raise the bar for Friday then? What are we kind of looking at now?
Steak and chips.
On Friday.
Following their consultation, Tanya takes Nina into the quiet room to show her how to play more positively with Taylor and Maisie.
Now, the aim of this is to play, okay?
Right.
And that means lots of fun. Okay, so already we're like this. Yeah, baby's sleeping. Good, let's go play with the baby, Mummy.
I'll do that.
I don't know, let's think of something. Come on. Baby! baby. What's happening with the baby?
Baby Sarah.
What's the baby called?
Baby Sarah.
Baby who, darling?
Oh, baby.
Good night, baby. Good night, baby. Shall we rock the baby? Night night, baby. Night night, baby. A really good thing to do with children this age is just to repeat what they say and how they say it, because imitation reinforces the skill of talking and verbalising what they're thinking, but the face has to change. Okay, that's it. What's Mummy doing on her face? What's Mummy doing? What's that?
Mum.
Is Mummy smiling?
Yes.
Come sit with me. Come sit round here, darling.
Dummy.
Dummy! I'll tell you what, you sit there, I'll sit here. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah.
And can you see that she's really into the play?
Chair, Mum.
Chair. Mummy's a chair.
Mummy's
No, Mummy's a chair. Is she? Is that the baby blanket?
Yes.
Can you hear? You've got to kind of push it up a bit. Does that feel really hard?
Yeah.
Why?
Like a div.
Well, you're a mum and they're little girls, aren't they? Shall we give the baby a cuddle?
Yeah? Give the baby a cuddle.
Night night, baby. Night night, baby. Shall we give Mummy a cuddle?
Yes.
And say I love you?
Love you, baby.
Give me a squeeze. What's over there? Look. Shall we do some cooking?
Yes.
Now you need to go and sit next to her and commentate on every single thing she does. And joy in your heart, a smile on your face.
Carrot. What are you cooking for the baby? Cheese? What's this? Cheese for the baby.
Well done, you. This is brilliant.
Is that a cheese sandwich? Tay, you are clever.
How are you feeling now? Are you feeling comfortable or embarrassed?
Quite comfortable. A little bit embarrassed.
You're right. Is this something that happens a lot at home?
We don't do this at home.
Because?
Never, ever, ever. I don't know. We've just never, ever done it. Because I don't feel comfortable doing it.
Right, but you are feeling comfortable doing it now. And why are you feeling comfortable?
Taylor's happy. Because I know she's happy. Play! Yeah, you're a clever girl.
Following on from Tanya's consultation earlier today, Sasha is continuing to take a more assertive approach with Ethan's dinner.
I want one piece of pizza eaten, then you can have a yoghurt. If you don't eat one piece of pizza, there'll be no yoghurt. Can you do that, please? Ethan, eat some pizza. You're going to eat some pizza? Would you like a yoghurt afterwards? No, don't do that to her. Ethan. Ethan. I'd like a bit of pizza eaten, please. If you'd like a yoghurt, then you have to eat some pizza.
You got coffee?
Hey?
You got coffee?
Yes. So, at least 2 pieces of pizza, please. I want them eaten. Let's show Tanya how you can eat that pizza. You've eaten the chips and you've done really, really well, but I want some of that pizza eaten. Just use one piece at a time. Now eat the piece that's on your fork.
It's not for too long, I promise.
No yoghurts until you eat some pizza.
Hold on, darling, because this thing has just gone back.
There's no yoghurts. Ethan. Ethan, it's worth it. Come and sit back. Why don't you want to? Not even bothered.
Although lunch was a step forward for the Woods, Sasha's efforts to get Ethan to try more new foods at tea time have ground to a halt, and he leaves the table without trying any pizza. It's bedtime at the House of Tiny Tearaways.
Right, come on. Start as you mean to go on. You're going to go in your bed with Maisie. Come on. No, come on.
Whilst Nina struggles to get
coming with
Taylor and
you,
Maisie to sleep,
Maisie.
Dylan has a moment with his mum tomorrow on the sofa.
Are you going to try and be a good boy tomorrow? And what aren't you going to do? What aren't you going to do?
Fight.
Yeah, and what else?
Punch.
Yep.
Follow the rules.
That's right, well done. I'll be really proud of you if you follow the rules and you don't fight, don't punch. Do you think you can do that for Mummy?
Yeah.
Tomorrow on the House of Tiny Tearaways.
No.
No, Maisie. Maisie. Oh no, you mustn't do that to her.
History's not repeating itself, not with my daughter involved. I'm sorry, I won't let that happen.